Good evening. I'm June Andrews, a senior data scientist at LinkedIn. I work with the growth team, and my specialty is understanding the professional network. With the growth team, we're interested in how that network's growing over time and in what ways it is growing. We also want to ask the question of in what ways should it grow in order to maximize members' professional goals. And some of the most interesting questions I get asked are actually popular science questions around the Christmas tree. I have a large family who's very inquisitive and includes construction workers, healthcare professionals, nonprofits, workers, and they love to ask me questions about the LinkedIn network and their professions. In particular, my father-in-law loves to ask, who knows the most doctors? And so let's take a look at that. You could say that who knows the most doctors is the average number of connections of an average member in an industry to healthcare professionals. And when you run those numbers, you'll actually find that recruiters and staffing professionals will be in your top couple of industries in terms of who knows the most doctors. Now, is that exactly representative of what we want to know? You could say that staffing professionals have thousands of people in their networks, and the depth to which they know each individual is different than, say, someone who has 100 connections in their network. And if you take that into account, you'll get a surprising set of results. In fact, you'll start to find that religious institutions are well connected to healthcare professionals. And when I saw that result, I thought it must be a data error. But I went and I asked some doctors, and they said, nope, that makes sense. And the way they explained it was that a lot of hospitals are actually closely related with religious denominations that help with certain aspects of care. And so my father-in-law is very happy with that answer. And one of the other popular questions I get asked, particularly by my cousins that are graduating, is how do they get a job? And as you can imagine, with LinkedIn's wealth of data, 300 million members with each member's career path and umpteen connections between those members, we can start to infer the connections necessary for getting your next job. And what I like to do in this presentation is weave together these popular science social questions with what you think might be a good way to approach the question, but realize that we're working in big data land. And that means we need to change a couple of tweaks. And weaving together the questions and the techniques necessary for getting over the hurdles with working with big data is something that I like to weave into a data story. So for Strata 2015, I would like to present a couple of data stories on how to answer popular science questions with the LinkedIn Professional Network.